Are we good? All right, Zach, thank you so much. And let's go ahead and take a look. And it is 6:30 p.m. and we will call this meeting to order. If we can just let them know to just, okay. And let's go ahead and take care of roll call. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you can please rise and we will go ahead and take care of our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the first proclamation, and this is going to be the recognition for Lido ISD Girls Cross Country Team. So, Girls Cross Country Team. And let the parents come on in. Come on in, come on in. All right. How you doing, man? Good, good. Please. How we doing? And congrats, congrats. Congrats, congrats. Congrats. Where's the parent? Come on over, sir. Come on over. How you doing? Look, yeah, there's the color. Right on the ice. Glory here. Make it over here. Okay, while I'm handing these out, we're gonna go ahead and take care of stuff. Okay.
Whereas the city of Lido, Texas is proud to honor the Lido High School Pirate Girls Cross Country Team consisting of Claire Cook, Lana Lopez, Francis Scotello, Madison Wagner, Prince Cortinas, Casey Galindo, and Annalise Quintanilla. Sorry about those names. Whereas the city of Lido, Texas acknowledges the great accomplishments under the leadership of coaches Gilbert Joplin, especially for the girls' team reaching state competitions in 3 of the last 4 years with the support of Superintendent Dr. Justin Reinhardt and Athletics Director Lori Wilson. Whereas the city of Lido, Texas recognizes their accomplishments of winning the District 28 3A championship in team competition, runner-ups in meets at Floresville, Friday Night Lights, Islander, and Regional 4 3A, winning 3rd place at McNeil and Skeen, finishing 4th at Yuba Valley and 5th at State. Whereas the city of Lido, Texas recognizes senior Francis Scotello for her accomplishments between 2022 and 2025 by being named All District for 4 years, Individual District Champion for 3 years, All Region for 2 years, All State for 1 year, and a 3-year Letterman at the state level. Claire Cook for her accomplishments between 2022 and 2025 by being named All District for 3 years and a 3-year Letterman at the state level. Svetlana Lopez for her accomplishments between 2023 and 2025 by being named All District for 3 years, All Region for 1 year, and a 3-year Letterman at the state level. These seniors are responsible for the team's accomplishments between 2022 and 2025, 4 district titles, 3 regional runner-ups, and state recognition as 3rd in 2022 and 2023 and 5th in 2025. Whereas the city of Lido, Texas recognizes junior Addison Wagner for her accomplishments as All District in 2023 and 2024, sophomores Elise Martinez and Casey Galindo for being named All District in 2024 and 2025, and freshman Annalise Quintanilla for her accomplishments as All District and All Region in 2025.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you. I hope you was reading in between there. So now, therefore, I have written on Taos by the virtue authority vested in the Administrator of the City of Lido, Texas. The recognition, therefore, do hereby proclaim that the City of Lido, Texas feels this proclamation is in order to recognize the many accomplishments of the Lido ISD Girls Cross Country Team. And this is actually signed on the 12th day of January of 2026. And the thing that actually happened, and this is a commitment, I hope we have the parents, and if you need to come in, there's plenty of room over here. This is huge. This is huge. Just because this set of girls were determined to be part of something and do something that was greater than just here in Lila. They could have actually made a decision and said, you know what, I'm going to stop at the district level. That's it. That's what we're going to be able to shoot for. We're not going to do that. And I know Coach Trace would probably say that, right? No, none at all. None at all. He actually is very determined. Coach Reese always sees something in every athlete that he has and says, we're going to take them to the next level. And he finds ways to be able to do that, right? He finds ways of being able to motivate. He finds ways to make sure that he gets you to the place where you need to be and to be able to recognize. Some years things lined up for us. Some years things are a little bit more challenging. So we wanted, and I just want to let you know, your coach, specifically your coach, wanted to make sure that you understood that your accomplishments did not get missed. It was your superintendent and your athletic director that also wanted to make sure that you guys understood the importance of what you are part of and that you are huge ambassadors. You know, one of the coolest things, you see that little stuff? See it? One of the coolest things that happens is when you walk around, whether it's a district, a region, or a state, and you guys walk by, right? Because they want to be you. They want to be you. And what you guys have done in the last few years and leading up to this, I know some of you are going to be going to other things to be able to continue, and we're very happy for you, both of you, to be able to do that. There's still more to be done. But you guys led the footprints, led the way, provided the leadership, and helped coach please for us to be able to do. I think that's one of the great things. So if it's okay, we'll go ahead and take some photos. Real quick, I'll try to sneak in here. Just get in there. Get ready here. We'll do some photos. Hold on.
You get some of these shorter folks to kneel down in the front.
Can we get a few to kneel down at the bottom?
About 4 people kneel down here in the front. Down on your knees.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed about it.
All right. Your counsel. Okay, good. Okay.
Obviously, get close enough.
Okay, got these shots. Okay, 3 more shots. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, any parents, anybody else wants to come over? You're good? You got it for everybody. Okay, let's go Pirates. There we go. Okay, so big things that are happening. I'm going to use you guys as a transition with boys before we go over here. Because I think all of you can join me in. How about a round of applause for our parents and our supporters? The reason that we all exist and the reason that we take care of stuff is because our parents were involved. I know, you got all your goodie bags, right? All your lunches and all the stuff. And the decoration of the bless, right? That was pretty cool. I think that's a great thing that happens with that. So, congratulations. Small token of appreciation. Coach, here's a few extra ones to pass on. But we look forward, those of you that will continue into next year, we look forward to tracking you, seeing you success. Those of you who are moving on, okay, there'll be something in the future, and we continue to do that and make a difference in others, okay? I look forward to standing. Congrats again. Here we go. Yep. Bring the boys.
This is the only one that has.
Okay. Okay. There we go. Thank you, Coach. All right. Come on in. Come on in. Parents are welcome to come in too. Okay. These boys.
Yes, Paul said yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. Go ahead and go through these. these, and while we're giving them out, do we have everybody? Is that everybody? Yes, please.
All right. Whereas the city of Lidle, Texas is honored, or is proud to honor the Lidle High School Pirate Boys cross country team consisting of Ryan Montez Rodriguez, Diego Reyna, Jaden Castro, Sebastian Garcia, Nathan Garza, Adrian Reyna, and Jacob Cantu. Whereas the city of Lidle, Texas acknowledges the great accomplishments under the leadership of coaches Gilberto Ruiz, Trace Botello, and Christine Joplin, especially as the boys were recognized as back-to-back state champions and 3 in the last 4 years with the support of Superintendent Dr. Justin Reinhardt and Athletic Director Lori Wilson. Whereas the city of Lidle recognizes their accomplishments of winning first place in team competitions at meets at McNeil, Islander District 28 3A, Region 4 3A, and State 3A in the 2025 Gold State Champions, along with earning 3rd place at Mina Valley and 5th place at Sabine meets where they competed against higher level 5A and 6A high schools. Whereas the city of Lidle recognizes senior Diego Reyna for his accomplishments between 2023 and 2025 by being in all district for 3 years, all regional for 2 years, all state for 1 year, and a 2-year letterman at state level. Whereas the city of Lidle recognizes senior Brian Montez Rodriguez for his accomplishments between 2023 and 2025 by being named all district for 3 years, all regional for 2 years, and a 3-year letterman at state level. Whereas the city of Lidle recognizes juniors Jaden Castro, Sebastian Garcia, and Nathan Garza as all district, and along with sophomore Adrian Reyna as all district, all region, and all state, and freshman Jacob Cantu as district champion, regional champion, and state medalist.
So now therefore I, Rick Gonzalez, by the virtual authority invested in me as mayor of the city of Lidle, in recognition therefore, do hereby proclaim that the city of Lidle, Texas feels this proclamation is in order to recognize the many 2025 accomplishments of the Lidle High School Boys cross country team that signed today, the 12th of January 2020. Okay, take a look at what was going on with the majority of these boys about an hour and a half ago. Take a look at this. This is how dedicated, because there's 2 words that could pretty much highlight. And dedication is one of them. An hour and a half ago. Here I am on Main Street. I'm waiting for the light. And some people are waiting to go ahead and cross Main Street because they were all running. They were running. They're still running. You know, they just keep going and going and going. Now, I will tell you, one of the cool things about all this is that we have some senior folks, especially Diego. You know, when I started looking at, the impact that you have made throughout the years has been huge. I saw you out there. And we always watch our kids, right? I watched you. You're coordinating. Okay, guys, let's go. What did you guys do? Watch down, click, and kept running, right? You could have stopped. You could have stopped. He's graduating. He's done along with the others, you know. But hey, we're going to continue going on. This is a dedication that we have here in life. And without a doubt, they have proven themselves. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in the last 4 years, and also in previous times, right, Coach? Up at the state level. Lidle has been known, and by the way, I want to throw it in there. Our coach has been recognized at the state level year after year, and here recently in the Express News as the coach of the year. I mean, that is something that is passed on throughout generations, and then among themselves, they continue to do that and help others to make sure that we take care of our school. And I feel very confident that without a doubt, Coach, what do you think next year? We'll see. I think we still got a really good chance. I think we have a really good chance just because of the commitment and what you guys have done over the years of passing it on. I saw you guys. We saw each other. We saw somebody that was hurting at the very end. At the very end. But he was determined to finish and finish strong and get all the way from the end. From the very beginning, I'm looking at it. From the very beginning, this gentleman right here, I will tell you, a year ago, he impressed the heck out of me. Just impressed the heck out of me. Here's a young, talented guy
running over in Medina Valley, okay? And he's zooming. He's just passing everybody. He was going so fast that he passed the actual, you're supposed to follow the little ATV. And one of the turns, he passed them, and then they're scrambling to try to get in front of him. That's how fast he was. He set the bar, and he helped his team, and this year it even showed it even more being able to. So, small token of appreciation. Coach, thank you so much. Appreciate everything that you do. You guys just are just unbelievable constantly. And it doesn't matter whether it's in season or out of season. Even this summer, I see you guys hanging out and going out and doing things together to kind of help each other, to kind of prepare yourselves when it's time to go ahead and get serious about what the next thing is. So you all have some big feet to follow, you know, but at the same time, you guys have gotten the exposure that you actually need. So to the coaches, thank you so much for everything that you guys have done. To the administrator, thank you so much. I will tell you this gentleman here is always behind the scenes and trying to figure out ways that he can actually make sure that he takes care of it. You might not hear about it, but he's always looking out for the best of our students and our athletes to make sure that they're taken care of one way or another. And that just, it brings a lot within our community to do that. So, a round of applause for our state champs. All right, let's go ahead and take some photos real quick. Here's how we're going to do it.
You guys are crap. Sorry, you're all 6'2", Mr. That's not me.
Get everybody? Okay, come over here. I'll balance it out. Is that good?
Yeah. Guys in the back row, commissioner, councilman, please, if you see me, I can see you, right? Okay. I'll turn you over to Dan.
All right, here you go. There you go. All right. All right. Thank you, parents. Appreciate you all. Appreciate everything. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Congrats.
Congratulations.
See, when nobody's looking, somebody's watching you guys. You see? That's good. Congrats. Congrats. Proud of you. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Good job, Coach.
Thank
you. Good job.
All right. Here we go. Well, we got one more. Here we go. Richie.
Ready?
You ready? Let's go ahead and take it.
We're not doing that kind of running.
Dr. B, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, here we go. So we're going to recognize 2 officers for years of service. First, we're going to start with Officer Investigator Andy Lopez. Actually, he's a little over 5 years. We're running a little behind, but 5 years certificate for him. So if you want to come on up, bring your file.
Let's do one like this first.
Okay.
Do one photo.
Sure, you hold it like this, right?
All right. Let's do this first.
And also, give me a picture.
Hold on. Yep, stand right here. Right here. Let's get you over here. I need counsel in there. There we go.
You guys step all the way back against the panel.
Come on.
Doing the same thing that exists. There you go.
Here we go. Did you need to take one?
I already get there.
You good?
Yep.
Okay, and it's going to have a family. Come on up. Come on
And
up.
I'll just give one.
What? You haven't got one? Okay, sorry. No, you're great. All right. Okay, go sit down off.
Thank you so much. So a little bit there, Anthony's a great guy, it was 5 years, he actually, came to work for us, started at the police academy right before COVID hit. So he was in a weird situation, they went in and pushed the academy through Uvalde to get him out. Training was difficult because instead of telling people go out and make contact and do this, we were basically like driving around, don't stop people, don't point people's houses, don't, it's just a strange, don't go to your mess calls, it's a different time, but, you know, we made it through and now he's out there and does a great job for us. Glad to have him here.
We did save a turtle once.
There you go, thank you.
Everybody knows, and Richie talked, but how about a round of applause for the family members, because you guys are totally committed to this. All right, Richie.
David Lopez,
Woo!
Junior.
Yeah.
Dad's here. Let's do pictures and I'll say something about this wonderful
Okay, here we
man.
go.
Don't forget me all.
All right.
Well, I'm good. Slip behind it.
One more.
No, I'm just kidding.
Picture with the family.
Yes.
David's lovely wife and three wonderful boys who are like family to me. Me and your Uncle Richie. They didn't smile like I figured.
Let's take some photos. Take some photos real quick. Here we go. Here, let's get it back. There you go. Perfect.
And,
There you go. Ready? All right, here you go.
My brother's here.
That's very rare.
David,
He's destined to be a cop. He doesn't like anybody standing behind him.
Let's do this. I'll come over here. There you go. Hi. 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 There you go.
So David, a little bit about David here. David came to work, 18 years old, David? How old were you, 18? 19, David came to work with the City of Island Public Works. He worked there about 2 years. Fortunately, he saw Matt and I, and he thought, my God, I want to be like them. He's not the first, he won't be the last, but he got with the Public Works Director, and they worked a deal where he came to work a little early, and he got out a little early to where he could take a shower at the office over there, and then headed to San Antonio to go to school at night and get his peace officer license. And it worked out, God's plan, it worked out. He graduated, and we happened to have an opening, which is kind of rare. We had an opening, and he's been with us, so now a total of 15 years in the city, about 13 years with the police department. He's got a lot of family here. Great guy, and he's a hard worker, and we're developing to be a leader of the future. He's already a leader now. We're looking forward to him. What he can do. Great guy.
the family too. You guys are unbelievable. I know we pull them a lot to do a lot of things, both in the leadership roles and the regular roles as a law enforcement officer. So thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Good. All right. All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to item council. If it's okay, let's go ahead and move on to item number 6. This is citizens to be heard. There's the opportunity for citizens, visitors, and guests to address the city council on any issue or any item on the agenda in compliance with LGC Section 551.007. City council may not discuss any presented issue, nor may any action be taken on any issue at this time. Citizens to be heard are limited to 3 minutes each. Attorney General Opinion JC-0169. Okay, with that in mind, I do not have anybody signed up, but I still want to offer it. Going once, anybody that would like to present or has any comments to be heard that is not on the agenda. Going once. Going twice. Okay, 3 times. Go ahead and show, Paula, and no comments for the citizens to be heard. Okay, council, let's go ahead and move on to item number 7. And this is going to be a public hearing. Let's go ahead and show Paula opening the public hearing. It is 6:57. And we're going to go ahead and conduct the public hearing concerning an application for a variance for the property located at 19429 North Somerset Street from section 46 276, use regulations of Division 5, B1 Neighborhood Business District of Article 5, districts and district regulations of Chapter 46, zoning to allow for a wall sign to be 24 square feet instead of the required 12 square feet in the area. Council will be operating as a board of adjustments for this public hearing item. So this is the opportunity for anybody that would like to provide any comments concerning this item. Then we'll actually go ahead and do an action item on that. So going once, going twice. No comments. So Paula, if you can actually show, it is 6:58 p.m. and no comments during the public hearing. All right, council, let's go ahead and move on to 8. And this is the open session. And this is take action on items discussed. A, consideration and possible action concerning the approval of the minutes from December the 8th, 2025.
Now I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented from the meeting on December 8th, 2025.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Got a second. Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. All right. Thank you, council. Appreciate that. Let's go to move on to B. Consideration and possible action concerning the approval of the payment of the bills.
Now I'll make a motion that we approve the payment of the bills as presented.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? A second? Okay. Any discussion?
Yeah, so for the Frontier, I had asked for a list of services provided and a copy of their invoice on how they bill. Were you able to get anything from Frontier?
So I know I sent over the equipment list. Was the other ones not included in that when I sent that email?
You sent them out to council?
Yes.
I'll have to
Okay.
double check, or could you send them again?
Yeah, I can re-forward that. Yeah.
Okay, and then services that they provide on a monthly basis. I would like to see something.
Okay. Yeah. And that was all on the within the contract,
Right.
pulled from there. But yeah, I'm
So-
pretty sure I sent it, but I will resend it this time.
So there's no itemized invoice that's presented monthly?
So they
where-
do send an invoice. I don't know if it's itemized or not. Have you seen like what it breaks it down? I don't think it is. I think it's just monthly services at the rate that we have it at.
It's a
And
set,
then
set rate.
anything new, like hardware, anything like that?
Would be
is-
additional invoice, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then,
But I'll go back and pull those emails and resend them to you.
Yeah,
and then
you
the JGA roofing, that's
Yes,
for the police
that was
department?
the police department roofing, which was budgeted, yes.
Okay. The Divine News, I know I had talked about before, and I see the bill that we paid for this month. Are we still looking at charging our citizens when they want to make a variance?
Yeah, so anytime like zoning or variances or anything like that, when we brought the fee schedule forward, that was something that was not added. I know we talked about it, but we ultimately didn't go with that. We did increase the cost a little bit, so obviously a little more is being covered, but not the full cost, obviously, for those. I do know on like anytime it's a commercial enterprise wanting to do it on a zoning change, I don't think it was for variances, but just zoning changes, it was actual costs. So then you would get some of that,
Okay.
but not on the variance one, I don't believe.
Okay. And, yeah, because I look at the amount, but those were mainly for the other postings that we had to do by
Yeah.
requirements, right?
Yeah. A lot of times, I mean, we haven't had a ton of people asking for stuff recently, going to P&Z and those kind of things. Most of it has been all the ordinances that we are legally required to publish.
Okay. And those are included in the overall cost?
Yeah.
Okay. The last one was the East Medina County. That was the water rights we purchased?
Yes, that was for the 2024 water rates.
Okay.
Yes, for that settlement.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, anything else? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas, okay. Thank you, council, appreciate that. Let's go ahead and move on to C. Consideration and possible action concerning the application for variance for the property located on 19429 North Somerset Street from section 46-276, use regulations of Division 5B1 Neighborhood Business District of Article 5, district and district regulations of Chapter 46 zoning to allow for a wall sign to be 24 square feet instead of the required 12 square feet in the area. Zach, you have this one, and council will be operating as a board of adjustments for the public hearing item.
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, Mr. Rios, the applicant, is here if you want to hear from him. But ultimately, the location in question, they are asking for a typical building sign, unlit, just a metal sign for the business to be placed on the actual wall of the front of the structure. It is proposed at 24 square feet in area. Our ordinance does only allow 12 square feet in area. We've had a few of these over the years, and so they're asking for a variance to that section.
I thought the variance were for a freestanding sign.
No, it's for there's freestanding and wall when you read that section.
Okay, because the wall, the one for the wall is already up.
It
That's the
is.
current one?
It was placed prior to, and then that's when we.
Well, no, it's up right now, so.
That's what I mean.
I'm asking.
They had placed the sign
is the sign.
prior. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What's the measurement on that sign?
So it's 24 square feet.
Do you know the measurements? It looks pretty much like a square.
Yes, I mean it's like
I just wanted to know what the measurement was. 72 by
40.
48? Yeah, because right across the street, we have a 48 by 96 on the storage units. Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve this.
Okay.
So, let's see, where is it? I'd like to make a motion to approve the application for variance for property located at 19429 North Somerset Street from section 46-276, use regulation of Division 5, B-1 Neighborhood Business District of Article 5, districts and district regulations of Chapter 46 zoning to allow for a wall sign to be 24 square feet instead of the required 12 square feet in area.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir. There you go. It's official. Be able to take care of it. Now you can, I know if you looked at the photos, there used to be a sign there, so it's literally just covering up where it was already.
Unfortunately, when they remove the side, it loses its.
I know. So we have to start again. And that's what we literally had to do. So that's the reason why we're going through that. But thank you for walking and going through the process, going through that. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to D, consideration and possible action concerning investment funds for the city of Lytle held at Lytle State Bank and Tex Pool. I know we got Zach in here and we got Lytle State Bank. Okay. We got Max. Oh, you're going to be coming up. Okay, let me just go ahead and do just a really quick little recap, and then we can go ahead. I know, did you bring it up? Oh, he's trying. I know we've been having some issues with bringing it up, so we're going to go ahead. So I think where we're actually at before, we had looked at the different amounts that we had based out there with what we operate under with the checking, you know, a little bit more than 2 million in there. We looked at that amount. We said we're not touching any of that portion of it. That's going to stay in Lytle State Bank. We're going to go ahead and continue to do that. I think what we had a question, and I think the sheet that he's going to be bringing up, it's somewhere close to about 5 million, but it was like 4 point something, but we rounded up to about 5 million, right? That's what we're looking at to try to come up with figures.
Yeah, so I can kind of explain this. So what we're going to propose is the Tex Pool rate, just to give an example, as closed today, the 7-day yield was 3.7%. On the first business day of the month, what we're going to propose is that we'll reprice. We're going to create a new fund at the bank. It can be money market, now account, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to price 20 basis points lower than what the Tex Pool is earning. So I got this top figure up here, the 2.1 million. From Zach. I think that was the initial balance, correct? The initial balance, I think the city placed at Tex Pool. And we ran a quick scenario between May and August of last year, what 20 basis points would look like, difference in earnings, which is $1,411.17. So, and then we priced in this $3,800 as estimated bank fees from May to August. So that's 4 months of $950 a month. Currently, we don't charge the city anything at all, not a penny, for any type of service. So there's value that the bank gives the city because we're not charging any sort of fees, and that's based on the contract that we signed back, I believe, in September of 2023. So out of those fees, though, there's about $750 that currently that's not addressed inside the contract. However, it is for payroll processing, and it's based on a lot of costs that we're accruing and absorbing for the payroll processing, but we're not passing that on to the city. So if you look between those 4 months on that 2.1 million, the earnings difference from an interest perspective would have been about $1,400. Although the city would have been saving $3,800. So really the city would come out ahead about $2,400 for those 4 months. I know the balance is a little bit higher in Tex Pool today. So I went with 5 million. I didn't have the exact number. Roughly 1 month of interest on 20 basis points is about $833. The bank fees are $950. So really it's almost a wash of $117 a month. If you're considering the value that the bank is giving to the city by not charging any fees. And the bank has not been charging any fees to the city. I mean, for sure, I don't know, Randy and Franklin can attest to that. It's been a long time that we've done that. We were asked about, and Franklin addressed this last time in 2023, and I remember it vividly because I was in the delivery room, and when Randy called me, but how y'all had asked for a 5-year contract, so we did that. And once we did the 5-year contract, then the money started flowing out. So it kind of decentivized us to give this incentive to the city to not charge any fees. So what we're asking is asking the city to move those funds back from Tex Pool and into this new account that we will set up for the city. So, any questions?
So the option, I remember the discussion, and that's why we were looking at the numbers to try to figure out. So one of the options that we actually had was move all the funds
Mhm.
and then to be able to offset, some of the costs. So that was one of the options. Is there any options of a partial movement of the amount and still be able to work something out? Was that an option that was available or is available?
We're going to ask for all the funds because either way, in any scenario, if it's under 5 million, the city still comes out ahead either way. So the biggest thing to consider is the $750 payroll expense that we have not passed on to the city, and we would like to not pass that on to the city. But that's a huge cost saver. I mean, it's only $83 and roughly difference a month.
Yeah. And that started in 2018. That's when it started.
Start processing the payroll. That would have been a little bit before my time, so probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2018. Because that was one of the things that our city employees had asked for us to go ahead and look into. Because they were still picking up. They
Paper checks.
didn't have direct deposit. So it was in 2018 when we first started actually doing that. So it's just.
Yeah, I've been there since July of 2020, so and it was before my time, so that would make sense.
Yeah. So, no, we appreciate, without a doubt. I mean, we appreciate it in the sense of being able to do that. So right now, the only option that you're bringing to the council is to move the whole money back, basically?
Correct.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Well, as you saw the scenario, the difference between what tax pool, which is the state of Texas, and between Lauderdale State Bank is offering is only 20 basis points. There's not much of a difference. But at this point, this would show the community that for 20 basis points, you're still willing to do business with your local bank. And I can understand like if it was a point or a point and a half difference, but at 20 basis points, there's not much of a difference there. And it allows Lauderdale State Bank and the city of Lauderdale to continue our long-term relationship that we've had for many, many years, put money back into the community, put money back into houses, cars, land, scholarships, which those are all things the state doesn't do. They don't care what happens here in Lauderdale. Lauderdale State Bank does. You'll see us at the school, you'll see us here at the city, at the VFW, the animal shelter. We take those funds that the community puts into the city, and the city puts into the bank, and then we in turn put it back into the community. So it's a recycling process. So we're asking that the city to please consider continue doing business with Lauderdale State Bank for only a 20-point difference. 20 basis.
Okay. Franklin, you had something? I saw you get up.
I think it's pretty well going over it. One of the things I'd like for y'all to consider, number one, is the average money, it transfers about 7 times. When you take money out of the community, it's not multiplying its use in the community. So you're putting money in somewhere else and out of funds. All the money you had in Lauderdale State Bank was insured by FDIC, and we pledged bonds to you. You've put your money in an account now that has no insurance, it has no security. If there was anything, if heaven forbid goes wrong, or there's big withdrawals in a hurry, you could find out that, when you read what you're investing your money in, it says there can be loss of funds. You are not insured.
Okay, I do want to ask if it's okay, clarification, because I know when we had a discussion, that was something that came in. And I want to make sure for clarification for the council, because that's,
He's not wrong. I mean, it's not FDIC insured. It can lose money, but it is backed by, obviously, treasury money and state money and things like that, so the likelihood of it failing is unlikely, but it can happen, like just with anything. So
You're an unsecured creditor. Remember that. You were unsecured. You had all your accounts here at Lauderdale State Bank were insured dollar for dollar. We put up bonds that were pledged to the city of Lauderdale. You are not in that category no more.
And if you look at our capital, the FDIC requires us to have a capital somewhere around 8%, and we have double the capital of that. So we're very sound, we're very safe. And we've got a proven history with the city, with here in the state, 115 years, going on 116 years. The bank's gone through many economic turmoils, and we're still here. And that's what we want. We want to still be here. We want to continue to do business. So,
I'm reading from text pool right now. An investment in the pool is not insured or guaranteed by any government or governmental agency. Okay? Although the manager of the pool seeks to preserve principal, it is possible to lose money by depositing money in the pool. That's what you're in.
So, Zach, I know we talked about that, and just for clarification, how long has this existed? I just want to make sure, because I want to make sure that we're looking at everything correctly. I mean, this is.
I can't. It's been around. So since 97, we bought it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Because this is information is being shared. I just want to make sure that it's put on there. It's on there.
It goes back into your community is so important. I hope you understand. I mean, we've got roughly 160 stockholders that are owners of Lytle State Bank. We're not the owners. We're just portion owners.
So they owns.
That's why it's important.
Who says tax pool investment pool established
1989.
We were established in 1910.
I'll roger that. I just want to make sure for clarification, because I know there was a decision that was made before with the council.
And again, just
So,
keep in mind that the difference between small bank here and Lytle versus the state, we're only 20 basis points difference. That's all.
I understand.
We make a motion.
Anybody can make a motion. Anybody.
Ready?
If you want to make a motion, you can make a motion.
That we accept and continue to do the business with the investments of Lytle to the bank. I know that there's money there that might not even be there anymore because of money we invested, but continue our business with it, with our, what we're doing here with the investments and the funds to Lytle State Bank.
Okay. So just for clarification, because what we're trying to do is we're concentrating on the money that was moved to the tax pool. So your motion is to go ahead and move everything back from the tax pool back to the Lytle State Bank. That's your motion. Okay. So I got a motion on the floor for that. Do I have a second on that? Do I have a second?
I can say.
Okay. Got a second? Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, I got some questions. So, how much do we currently have at Lytle State Bank?
We have just under 2.5 with seal money. That's used for the projects that are ongoing, right? And then in CDs.
I can tell you right now, total city of Lytle is 3,594,000, 46,000 in CDs and 3,547,000 in demand deposit again.
So the total amount is
3,594,000.
3. So when I look at the 20 basis points, you calculated right on the dot to pay for the expenses that you're losing by not charging the city. However, you can recoup that amount of money that you're currently giving to the city by just getting $2 more million from the city. So if the city were to deposit $2 additional million into the bank, it would be a total of $5 million, and that would cover the fees. Okay, based on 20 base points. That would have been, or that is going to be, depending on how we look at, that's going to be my motion, is that when it's given the proper opportunity, is that we look at bringing in $2 million to the city of Lytle. That'll give you $5 million total. Let's work with that. Let's see how that works in the future. If you continue to not charge the city payroll and all that other stuff, then we can maybe look at bringing in more money in the future. But I don't want to take all this money out of tax pool when we worked so hard to try to get Lytle to come up to standards of tax pool. We sat back in executive session many a time trying to get Lytle State Bank to step up and match what Texaco had. And I understand Lidle State Bank is local. Okay, I understand it. It's hard to go against a federal banking, right? But you guys never stepped up.
Yes, sir, but I will
And,
say this.
but council, we discussed this, we looked at this, and we all agreed Texaco was the way to go, and we've made money on Texaco. Now, what they're offering is very generous. They're offering exactly what it is that we actually wanted in the beginning. Okay, and that 20 base point, that's gonna cover their costs that they're losing. And we should be very grateful that we're not having to pay that. So my suggestion would be, and it's going to be, that we only take partial money out of Texaco, which would be, in this case, 2 million, and give you the $5 million total, and that would cover their base point.
I have a question. So, Mr. Rodriguez, you did mention that y'all wanted 20 basis points. Y'all discussed that in the executive session, but
Well, this is the first time I hear of 20
okay.
basis
So,
point.
but the only opportunity that we were ever really given, it was just kind of say, hey, what's the best thing y'all would pay? And we made an offer, and then there was never a discussion back and forth. There was never anything clear cut of what the expectation was on y'all's end.
We were never approached until November of last year. That was the first time that we were approached by the city. When we signed the contract, the city made no notion that they wanted a better rate or that we wanted to negotiate the rate. There was no mention of negotiation. We were not made mention of it. It was not made mention until November of last year when we were first notified about it. And after that, we were trying to set up a meeting, and then we had an initial meeting, then it went to that, but there was.
It wasn't with the council.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was the council.
Yeah.
So,
But
you
it
know,
was in November of last year, so there wasn't many opportunities. If we would have known, or if we would have had the discussion like this, that y'all gonna go to Texaco, then we could have done a little bit better, but when you say that we were approached many times, we were not. November of last year was the first time we were approached, and that was at the end of the year when our budget was already done.
so I can't speak of what we talked about in executive session. However, I'm talking in general terms, and from my understanding, from what I remember and recall, is that Lidle State Bank was given that opportunity. I don't want to take away from Lidle State Bank. That's why I would offer that we put that $2 million in from the tax pool and up the deposits to 5 million. And let's work from there. And let's see how that works in the future. That would be my suggestion.
I do want to be clear on to get to the 5 so the 2.5 that city managed operating account projects that we've gone that money should have gone within 9 or 12 months.
Right,
So that 2.5 will leave it there.
right.
That's the pay for the water tower
And part of my motion was to have you and the Lidle State Bank work together and work these things out in how we're going to maintain that $5 million in the Lidle State Bank. That was going to be my motion. Okay. I don't want to sound like we're not appreciative of Lidle State Bank. We have to support our local bank. If for some reason we lost Lidle State Bank, that would affect a lot of people in Lidle.
It would.
You don't want people having to go to San Antonio and,
We
yeah.
have a contract with y'all. Do you not want to abide by the contracts? I mean, when you took the money and you moved it over there, that shows us you did not want to. So if you're saying we're out of the contract, okay.
Well, I don't think we're saying, I think we actually looked into that.
And you want to keep the money in there, then just say that, okay?
what I'm saying today,
Over here in a second.
So-
right, and what I'm saying today,
Franklin,
because we
so,
each get to
so we do
speak.
have, okay, so basically one of the things, and I think I'm getting what Councilman Rodriguez is saying. So I think and going back to where we were asking if there's any options, is there an option where we can just do the two? Because there is going to be movement of money that is going to be happening based on the things that we're going to spend. So is there any option where we can actually go ahead and take the two, put it back into Lidle State Bank and work through that? Is it an option?
Yes, sir, but I do want to say this, though. I know that the contract that the city and Lidle signed is not an intricate contract. It's a contract, but it's more like a gentleman's agreement. However, a contract's a contract, a handshake's a handshake. So the city agreed, and the state's under to the rates and all the conditions that the bank has to offer when we signed that 5-year contract. We've always done it too. The city wanted to do fine, we did the fine. There was no mention at that time that the contract was signed, that, hey, once y'all sign this, we're gonna change, we're gonna move the fund somewhere else, or we want a better rate. There was no discussion at all. So, I mean, a handshake's still a handshake, and a contract's still a contract. And what you're saying is, do you not wanna wait till the contract's expired, or you want to terminate the contract right now, or you wanna do the changes right now? And that's what it seems
I think I'm just asking for options. Right now, we're going to go ahead and vote on the motion that is in there. But is there an option, because some of the money is going to it's going to rotate out. It's going to happen. So the option, I mean, can we move 2 million back in? Okay. And now you're looking at, you already have close to 2.4 in the checking. So you're going to have an additional 2 that is going to be moved in. Is there any way that could be an option to be able to kind of work through this? Because the other money, by the end of the year, we're going to be done, Zach? Yeah. So we're going to be done with some of these projects. So, see what I'm saying? It's already going to happen. So,
I see what you're saying, but it's like a marriage. Did I change my mind and I decided I'm not going to be married for the next week? And then we go back in, we got to have a marriage again? I don't think so.
okay. So, Franklin, I understand your point. So basically what you're saying right now, I just want to make sure. You're just saying that there's only one option. Is that what the bank is saying right
I
now?
have one.
I want to make sure for the council.
So I'm just curious. So what is the reservation about moving all the money back in instead of just move, like, okay, so you're recommending the 2 million, right? Getting close to the 5 million, and then as it runs off, move more money back in. But my perspective as someone who does accounting work on the daily, that just creates more of an accounting headache when you're constantly having to manage the money.
Well, if you want a honest answer to that, we spent many years not collecting interest we could have been collecting. That's the bottom line. There's many years where we left money in Lytle State Bank and did not collect the full potential of that money.
But if we were never asked, why would the bank be?
All I can go by is what I've been told and what we've discussed. And my understanding is that Lytle State Bank was asked.
It was like your accounting, your auditing firm. They recommended you can do it, or you weren't supposed to. They realized that. They didn't tell you. You saw the accounts.
Okay.
I know what your accounting
And then,
recommended.
but then you got to realize too, that as a council, we're responsible to try to give as much money as we can for what we have, right? For our citizens.
For 20
That's
basis
what we're
points,
saying.
for 20 basis
You're
points.
not-
not
Now
like-
it's 20 basis, it was not 20 basis
I've
points
been
earlier. That's
Franklin's
the point I'm
been in the
getting
bank
at.
50 years, I've been there 42 years. We've never, ever had this discussion with any mayor or any
Yeah.
city secretary.
And I
Never.
can't answer to that.
So I'm telling you,
can't
because we
answer
have
to
been
that.
here, and it's never been a discussion, and it's always been community, let's all work together.
Roger
That's
that.
the way it's always been.
And that's why my suggestion is moving forward, this would be, to me, this would be the best option to move forward.
Okay. So let's go ahead and continue on. We actually have a motion and we have a second for us to go ahead and do this. And this is actually returning the money that was put in the text pool and returning all of it back to the actual, to Lytle State Bank. Okay, that's a motion. That's a second. We already did the discussion.
Before we look, would we have something in writing that would say this 20 basis
Oh,
point?
yes, sir, yes, sir, we'll get it to Zachary.
Okay. Because you talked about the handshake and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Whatever fell apart
Yeah.
there,
I
moving
already-
forward,
if
I'd
I
like,
say it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
But,
it's done. I
but
mean,
it's,
it's a done deal.
and as hopefully things get better in the economy, textbook offer more, you continue to,
It's going to
Keep
be
within
reset.
that.
It's going to be reset on the first business day of every month.
Each one.
So what textbooks pay.
You've been watching constantly the rates going down.
Yeah, it was at 4.2, was it 4.246? Yeah,
I wish you had that, but you don't have it.
that would have been nice.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I just wanna make
understanding
sure
is,
things
is that
we'll
goes
get-
down,
we'll
so
get it
does
right.
yours.
that's right.
But
Okay.
that's on the account, the money moved back where it was to start.
Okay, so we
We're not doing
have,
that.
let's go ahead and continue on. So we actually have, anything else for discussion? Okay, So once again, just to make sure that we're on the same sheet of music, this is for the movement of all the funds back to Lido State Bank from the tax pool. All those in favor, say aye. Okay, 2 ayes. Okay. All those against? Okay. Okay, so we actually have a tie, so this is the opportunity for me to actually go ahead and put. I am going to go ahead and vote with the nays, so it'll be 3 nays for us to go ahead and do that. I think there's an opportunity for us to concentrate on what we actually have. So you had talked about a motion.
Yes, sir.
You'd like to go ahead and make that motion?
I should. I motion to take no action and refer this item back to the Lido State Bank and the city administrator to negotiate more favorable terms and to be brought back to council at a future date.
Okay, got a motion for us on the floor. Do I have a second? Got a second. Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we got some more work to do.
I have a-
Okay.
Has the administrator made any recommendation? Has he spoke to y'all about this?
Now you know what council wants, and now you know you have a directive from council. If you can't work with the city administrator on what we want, because we've just stated what we want. If you can't work with him, come back to us. Let us know you're having trouble working with him. He's our voice. He knows exactly what the council wants. And if the communication wasn't there before, I apologize for that. But let's move forward. I think this would be a good start, and eventually we move all the money over if it all works out great. Okay? This should be a good starting point.
Is there anything in particular that you want to see when we come back? Something more detailed or?
I would just like just a fair amount of money to be moved over initially, and then stay with the 20 base point, because that works out best for Lido State Bank, because you're able to recoup the money that you're currently giving to the city by not charging these fees.
Well, I know you said that it works out best for the Lido State Bank, but I guess it's a twofold situation, because, yeah, we will get the funds back, but we still got to do more. We're not competing against another bank, we're competing against the state of Texas. So it'd be like the city of Lido competing against the city of San Antonio, saying we want the same thing San Antonio has, we want it here in Lido. We can't do it, but we're making the effort.
And that's appreciated. And unfortunately, if you ask the average citizen, if you have money to invest, where are you going to invest it in?
Well, and you have loyal customers.
Yes, and you
We
do
have
have
loyal-
loyal
we
customers,
have
and you
very
have a
loyal
loyal
customers.
council as well.
We have loyal customers,
Yeah.
no matter what. Whatever the rates are offered on a vehicle or a house rate, they stay with Lido State Bank. In order to be called loyal, you have to be loyal all the way. Either you're loyal or you're not.
Yes, sir. Let's start
Yeah.
here and let's see where we can
And
work this
we
out.
definitely want to go down that road. We'll take a look at it. I think we need to separate what is going to be taken care of in the immediate future, and let's just concentrate on it. If you noticed, even with that, and honestly, I think I don't we can't put it up because we already did a motion and what we're actually at. But I think if you take the majority of the money and actually look at and putting it in Lido State Bank, with you all having, you're going to end up with more of the money of what we actually have based on the operating and some of the movement that goes along with that. Okay.
You want us to pledge securities to insure your deposits, since you like to have money without it being insured, without any pledge of anything? Is that what you're also telling?
That's Lido State Bank is backed by FDIC
That's only $250,000.
I know.
in separate accounts.
And we put everything.
I understand that.
everything else
I understand
have
that.
insurance. So you're dealing, we're competing with somebody,
Yeah.
and you're talking the difference in rates. You're an uninsured
So-
party.
So where we're at right now, let's go ahead and we have an action to sit down together and go ahead and go over that stuff. And then,
Yes, please.
yep, and we'll definitely get together and go ahead and do that. We'll be in touch. We'll definitely be in touch. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Max. All right, let's go ahead and move on to E, consideration and possible action concerning utility rates for the city of Lido, including the drought fee adopted in August 2025. Zach?
Our hot button issue of late as it relates to the utility bills and the drought fee. So we had a couple of requests from citizens. We also had a request from Councilman Rodriguez to place this agenda as well as the next agenda item on the agenda for tonight. Obviously, I think the next one is in the event we can't come to some resolution on this particular item. But so I think the biggest headache was obviously this drought fee that people got the first billing 2 billings ago, and the amount based on consumption that was done. In the data sheet, I did provide to you what the current breakdown of cost is based on the tiers, what was adopted in our master fee schedule. So obviously, starting at $0, going up to $250. I think as we looked at the amount of customers that are in the first couple tiers and really what the effect should be, it really wasn't fair across the board when you really look at the numbers. And so that's really what I think the main objective of tonight is coming up with a more equitable kind of charge across the board. What I went ahead and did, and you all can pass these around. Sorry. So I also, in the data sheet, before we get to this, but while it's going around, did provide to you the breakdown from the first billing cycle where the drought fee was or came in, and then the second billing cycle where that breakdown was. And so we did see a decent shift of additional customers into the 0 to 3,000 gallons from the first billing cycle to the second billing cycle. And again, this is from the numbers on your data sheet. All the rest of them pretty much stayed the same, but the hope is that some people probably got that drought fee, or I need to cut back a little bit. Obviously, we don't know for sure that that's the case, but we are seeing a little bit of movement in that respect. So I did want to highlight that. As far as kind of a recommendation, because I think, again, to make this a more equitable fee, you can see the breakdowns that I'm suggesting there. So 0 to 3,000 gallons would stay at $0. There'd be still no charge for those customers. 3,001 to 10,000 gallons would go down from $25 to $5. 10,001 to 25,000, that would be $10. And then we see some movement. So we actually see 25 to 50 gallons increasing from $40 to $50. And then so on and so forth, 100, 150, and 250 respectively for the tiers. What I did is, based on the customer count that was provided in the data sheet, is where you'll see the potential amount on the sheet that I just provided of what we potentially could have realized if this would have been changed to this new $5, starting at $5 all the way down to $250. And what that would leave us as a total for on a monthly basis, timesing that by 12 months for the full year. As we know, we had to lease water rights this year, and we obviously have a settlement with Edwards Aquifer on leasing for 2024 as well. So it is kind of the trend now that we are seeing a lot more water being used, and so the likelihood is that we'll have to continue to do that going forward. So I did just stick the number that this year alone we've spent $45,000 alone on leasing water rights. Today I added this AMF fees. Today we got a bill. So after we purchase those water rights, we then have to pay aquifer management fees like we do at the beginning of the year on those water rights that we leased. And so that's an additional, I'm estimating about $25,000. The bill today was for $22,500, but we still need to get another $50,000, and that'll be in our report when we get to the Public Works report. So that's why I'm estimating about $25,000 for that. What that would leave us, since the drought fee is really, as when we talked about this, when we went through this exercise of doing the drought fee really is when we are in drought, we are being penalized, no better way to say that, from the Edwards Aquifer. We are told we can't use as much water, And if people and residents and businesses continue to use more water, then we're going to go over that and we got to pay. We're going to be charged by Edwards Aquifer whether we like it or not, or we got to find water rights to make us whole for
And
that
it's
year.
important to note that this is not unique to Lido. This is
No.
all Edwards Aquifer customers.
That's correct. That's correct. And so what that remainder would leave us then in each of those billing cycles is listed. And then potentially, if we wanted to take the remainder of what that is and go buy some additional water rights at the end of the year to try to kind of help us down the road, then you can see what we could generally get. Obviously, these numbers are going to shift. People use less throughout the year. People use more during the year. These numbers, it just gives you an idea of what could potentially, based on those two billing cycles. I think in looking at this, I feel like this is definitely a more equitable way of approaching the drought fee. But the understanding that, and I kind of referenced this in the data sheet, is that even though we're going to adjust this, utility rates are going to have to change as well as we go forward. And so, we are paying. If you look at some of what our water and wastewater study had produced for us, we're almost half under what some of our neighboring customers are paying for water, and sometimes 3 times what some of our neighboring customers are paying for services, the same services. It's not cheap to do this. We have later on in the meeting, we have where we're issuing debt again to pay for capital improvements in water and sewer, and so we can afford to go down, obviously, as the numbers indicate, but knowing that down the road we are going to have some discussions on utility rates as well. Not a part of the meeting, but kind of in that same vein, I've asked E3, they're looking at some ways to maybe help with cost savings and figure out, some of the things in our making sure our billing is correct. So obviously they're here if you want to hear from them as well. But they're not on the agenda, obviously, specifically for anything. But they, as a part of all this conversation that we're having. So.
Yeah, important thing on here, just so you know, based on the numbers that we looked at and we adjusted, we didn't know what we didn't know.
Yeah.
So until recently, we went through the exercise and we had to go ahead and figure out how much is it going to cost to lease the water, actual numbers, because now we're dealing directly with the people that we needed to do that. How much is it going to cost for us to be able to purchase? We were able to crunch some of the numbers and try to figure out, okay, what options do we actually have? And that's what Zach did in here. So those adjustments that we actually had, and Zach pretty much mentioned in the sense, even where we were at, we saw already a shift. We shift, from 37% of the customers from 0 to 3,000 gallons. Now it's to 46%. And if you look at those numbers on there, I mean, you got 46 and 44%. That's 90. Is that correct?
Yeah.
90% of our customers are at 10,000 gallons or below, which is great. So I want you to imagine now, once again, now we have the numbers and we can figure things out a little bit better. Because once again, mentioned, we're not here to make a profit, right? But we need to take care of our citizens' money. So that's the reason why we're able to figure some of these things out. So instead of the first tier, there's no charge. Instead of paying the $25, Zach, you're proposing a $5,000 or a $5. I'm sorry, $5 that goes along with that. Okay. But realize the caveat that goes along with that is that's for us to be able to take care of the drought portion of it. There's still going to be some additional adjustments that we got to do with the fees, but it's going to be different. That would still actually happen that goes along with that. But we're going to go ahead and do that. The people that are going to feel a little bit is going to be from the 25,000 to 50,000, and that is looks like 9 customers, 13. Okay, and then between the 75,000 and the 100,000 gallons, okay, we actually have like 33.
So 25 to 50 would be 33 customers.
Yeah.
50 to 75, 9 customers, and then 75 to 100, 13.
Yeah.
Although Some of that is probably
So you have
correct a little
you have an idea which folks, I mean, we're talking about the car washes. We're talking about the big ones that are going to be able to do that. But that gives us a chance to go ahead and try to figure out. And our goal right now is with the drought is to work with the lease option,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Be able to cover that and help us as we actually build. Also for clarification, because I had a lot of folks that came in, we talked about it, and this is good that we talk about it. I want to make sure folks understand that there's everybody who comes into our city, they have to bring the water rights. Okay? Nobody's taken away from anybody. Any developer that comes in here, they have to bring the water rights to us. Any business that is coming into us, they have to bring in the water rights. That's something that Matt started when we started years ago, and we came up with it, and it's actually been working out. So all these developers, I don't want to make sure that there's no confusion because people start saying, well, we had to cut 40%, but we got all these new houses. That's not the case. They have to bring the water rights that go along with that. So that offsets some of the numbers that go along with that. So I think what Zach came up with and provided on here is a good opportunity for us to go ahead and look at the drought fee. You had mentioned, is there anything they want to communicate or anything you want to pass on to the council?
Larry Jones, several months ago, Zach called and was talking about y'all were having a problem with your water loss. It was a large water loss. And so since then, they found a leak and everything like that. But we had started doing some prep work. And so I'm going to throw some numbers at you real quick. And so for the past 2 years, the city has been reporting back to the state that you are billing the average household about 3,800 gallons per house per month. Okay. And when TML does its survey of all, they take a survey of people with old meters, new meters, billing issues, this, that, they're at about 5,700 gallons per household per month. And you guys are at 3,800. Now, we've done a study at your neighbors, both Natalia and Divine. They're billing about 6,800 gallons per household per month. And according to the EPA, that the average household uses closer to 7,000. So we've done this drill at many cities, and there's usually a billing issue or people, where there's a meter transition, maybe everybody didn't get put on, or it could be inaccurate meters. There could be a bunch of different reasons why the billing is so low per household. So we collected some data. The mayor had pointed us in a couple of directions. So we're doing that research and due diligence now, and our plan is to be back next month with a report on why and it maybe nothing, but why it seems like the billing seems to be low here.
And this will actually help us out when we start talking about investments and the things that we need to do to make sure that we capitalize. So, they're helping us out with that portion of it. But it's so important that we actually look at everything that goes along with that so we can kind of minimize as best as possible. But I think based on what we actually have, that's where we have the job feedback to be able to bridge the gap. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not sure about the drought fee. That's not.
That was the discussion, was trying to help
Yes.
bridge that gap, because overall, the more that we can control the water, and I think we have a third, is that correct? We have a third of our city already in the smart meters? Yes. We're
Yeah.
about a third, right?
You're doing about 150 a year. You've been
So
transitioning.
little by little,
Yeah.
we're getting there to be able to do that, and that kind of lessens the gap in the sense of, if there's an old meter, is it really reading the way it's supposed to be reading and doing the fix?
And as far as rates, I know you didn't ask, but Zach is right. On an average 5,000 gallon bill, you guys are about $120 a month less than your neighbors.
That's a good thing. For a customer, that's a good thing. I mean, for a city of citizen,
But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're adjusting accordingly.
Sure.
I don't want us to, to adjust too much,
right?
so we do it in the right phases, we do it in the right, but it is something that we will need to go ahead and do that. So we're looking forward to the results.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the first thing the good baseline is to count exactly how many gallons are being used, and then it's easier to make decisions off of that.
We appreciate all
Yep.
the help.
Thank y'all, guys.
And by the way, they got some pretty cool scientific stuff that they do. It's pretty neat. It's
Thank
pretty
you.
neat the way it works out. Thank you for being here. Fantastic.
Thank
Thank you.
The current,
Thank you so much.
thank you. The current drought fee, just a reminder, it's just for currently at stage 4. There's a whole different set of numbers for stage 5, which we're not going to discuss here. Now, once the Edwards Aquifer brings down the stage to stage 3,
Yeah.
when do we recover the bill? When do we stop? Do we wait one complete month?
Yeah.
So we go one billing cycle and then we drop the fee?
Yeah, I think it's been typically as long as half the month, more than half the month was in that stage, then that would be charged. But once that, is,
So the following month, we would drop the fee if appropriate.
yes, sir.
Okay.
So just so we can put numbers, and I know with folks on the audience, so based on the adjustments that we're looking at from the 50,000 gallons and below, right? From 25 and below, from 25, and that's gonna be the $10, the $5, and the no charge, right?
25. Yes.
I'm looking at this one right here. Yeah, 25 gallons,
25,000.
yeah, 10, 5, and 0. That's, if I'm doing my math right, that is 97% of our city. Okay, so for our customers, I want to make sure that we understand that we're only going to be charging $10 or less. The majority of our residents should fall. We do, I will tell you, we do have,
We have a few residents.
yeah, we have one resident that is up there like, yeah, no, it's not you. It was,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, when I opened my bill, I saw an 80% fee. I'm like, why am I paying 80% fee?
Well, I think what he was saying is like in that higher gallon.
Yeah, no, yeah, I guess
No,
even worse.
I was
yeah.
really surprised. We have like
We have some residents
we
out
have
there.
two
that are-
residents. Yeah. But anyways,
So Mayor, let me start by making a motion here. I'd like to make a motion to approve the amended utility rates for the City of Lidle drought fees as presented.
okay. Got it? Got a motion? And we're looking at this. We're looking at this red, what we actually have been talking about. Okay. We have a motion. Do I have a second? You got a second?
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion?
So the tier past 100 gallons, are you gonna also adjust that at 50-gallon increments? At $50,000 gallon, 50,000 gallon increments?
Yeah, so, well, it actually jumped even higher if it's over 100. So if the, like the one prior to that is $150.
Right.
It actually jumped up $100 to $250 for that.
Right, but my question is, over the 100,000 gallons, are you gonna also include additional tiers?
Oh,
Or is it gonna be a flat
So-
fee at
yeah,
100,000 and
so
over?
right now it was just the 250, but I mean, that was not.
Do
I
we
know what
have
you're
customers
meaning.
in that group?
So these tiers match what our current utility billing tiers are. So yes, I would say there's probably about average anywhere from 9 to 10 customers in that over to 100,000.
Right, because we looked at the numbers and the numbers that we get based on the current billing, it's appropriate to what if
So
we're
right
being
now-
charged.
Yeah, right now.
No, we're just looking at these numbers.
Yeah, we're doing this, but you're correct. There is a higher increment one,
Right.
but that's in stage 5.
Stage 5 does incrementally,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Based
it's
on usage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
But for this one, we're just gonna go ahead and keep it
the flat rate.
the flat.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. So the over 100,000 gallons is going to remain at the 250. Okay.
And this will give us the opportunity based on what we
Right.
now have the numbers to be able to do that. So,
That
okay.
look good.
Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
I just have one question. This is for people. not, it's not a utility rate, but so
I was gonna say,
from a changing in the system.
I would treat
compared
it the
to-
same as we did for changes in other rates. It's technically part of their rate.
I'm just thinking to when we actually bill it and implement it in the system.
Since it's changing, you may want to, even though we're not going to act on it tonight, you may want to suspend it. You may want to not apply the old fee, wait a billing cycle and apply the new fee.
So,
that there's
so
notice
then,
of the.
and yeah, I was basically referencing this to the next item. So I would say we probably need to suspend it 1 month and then to give us time to do all these
Okay,
things.
so let's go ahead and move on to
So,
that.
yeah.
Consideration,
Yeah.
consideration of possible action concerning the temporary suspension of the drought fee. F.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to temporarily suspend the drought fee for a period of 1 billing cycle.
Got a motion? Got a second? 1 billing cycle is good? Okay. Any other further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. Does that help, Zach? All right. Austin, we're good?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure we got that taken care of. Okay, we're getting close to the break, but I know we got a few folks that are here, so we're going to try to take care of those. Let's go ahead and move on to G, consideration and possible action concerning ordinance number 26-01, ordinance of the City Council, City of Lytle, Texas, granting a petition for our corporation. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Corporation of described property into extraterritorial jurisdiction of the City of Lytle, Texas, and extending the boundary limits of said extraterritorial jurisdiction to include said hereby after prescribed property and granting all the inhabitants of said property all the rights and privileges offered by the law and binding said inhabitants all by acts, ordinances, resolution, laws, and regulations of the City of Lytle and the state that may be applied or enforced within extraterritorial jurisdiction. Zach.
Well, I'll just start off. So, Mitch, obviously, you know from him from our December 8th meeting. If you recall, the property in question that we gave or approved, council approved the development agreement for. One of the distinctions of that is that with the development agreement, it can only be issued if it's inside the ETJ or inside the city limits of the city. So. This is their request to add that property into the ETJ so we can officially have the development agreement issued with them. So.
Anything that you'd like to add, sir?
So,
tonight on the ETJ, I think it's fairly straightforward. It allows us to move forward with the rules and regs that are in the development agreement that was approved. So straightforward there. If it's okay, I may just address the utility service agreement quickly. That agreement we feel protects both parties, and it follows on your conversation about water. We will be bringing raw water to the table that will be dedicated to the city that is above and beyond what we believe our demands are. So here to answer questions, but thank you for hearing it tonight.
Mayor, I'd like to start by making a motion to approve ordinance 26-01 as,
Yeah, as presented.
as presented.
That'd be good. All right. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
I got a second. Okay. Any further discussion? Nope. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That's good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This is H, consideration and possible action concerning resolution number 26-01, resolution, City Council, City of Lytle, Texas, authorizing the execution and entering into a utility service agreement with TXLCO, Bear County LLC, for the provision of water and wastewater service to a 344.5 acre tract of land, providing related matters and providing an effective date.
So the biggest thing, and Mitch kind of touched on it with this particular one, is obviously the dedication of the unrestricted water rights, as we ask all developers to bring as a part of their development. So 179.45 acre feet is what is contemplated within the utility service agreement, and that is to cover the 530 million equivalent units that they would be producing for the development that they have. It covers various things that the development agreement did, including any utility improvements, their cost that will be turned over, any liabilities and things like that. So very similar language that's in the development agreement.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 26-01 as presented.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. All right. Thank you for being here. I know it's been a long one. Let's see. How long of a discussion do you think we might have? Do you need? Okay, because we do need to take a break, and we probably can do it either before or after. Well, less than 5 minutes. Okay. There you go. Okay, let's go ahead. Council, if it's okay, let's go ahead and move on to I. This is consideration and possible action regarding resolution number 26-02, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Lytle, Texas, authorizing and approving publication, posting notice of intention to issue the city's certificate of obligation in the maximum principal amount not to exceed $6 million and other matters in connection therewith. Okay? All right.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. Try to be brief, but I don't want you to leave this.
No, we're going to take care of business.
Thorough. So feel free to ask me any questions. My name is Andrew Friedman. This is Ryan Cunningham. We are your financial advisors from Samco Capital Markets. We assist you all when you borrow money. What Ryan's just handed out is a timetable of events in order to issue certificates of obligation. The first action item for you all would be the approval of a notice of intention resolution where you set forth and post in your paper on your website that you intend to borrow up to an amount not to exceed $6 million for street utility work to be paid back over the course of 20 years, and that you're going to entertain bids on the 9th City Council meeting. So this is the first legal step you have to take. It's not saying that you're not committing to issuing that debt. Certainly you want to make a good faith effort. You don't want to go through all the steps that we'll need to, including going to bond rating agencies to get our bond credit rating in place ahead of the sale. This is the first step in this. This $6 million financing, $5 million is for utility fund. It'll be repaid from your utility fund from those utility system revenues for a water well projects and associated infrastructure. With that, $1 million for streets. It's paid from your INS portion of your property tax rate. On the street side, the general fund side, payments will begin this current fiscal year. We've got funds to cover that, and then in the future, we're taking advantage of the drop in your debt service that'll allow you to pay back that $1 million without having to increase the property tax rate. Of course, we don't know what the property values are for the next year yet, but we do have a level of comfort that it falls within that. And then on the utility side, y'all have had a very worthwhile discussion about your utility rates. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. The cost of water, the cost of utility system, maintaining the utility system just goes up and up, and seemingly at an astronomical rate over the last few years. I would not encourage you all to go down on your rates. We have, you all already know this, a lot of capital improvements necessary in the utility fund over the next several years. Even if we're making money in the utility, you all have projects that will need to be undertaken that are going to be financed with debt. We're going to need those revenues to make those bond payments. You're either increasing rates now, and y'all have taken a lot of great steps in that. I would encourage you to keep up with that, because it'll be hard conversations in the years to come when there are projects not that we need to do, or not that we want to do, but that we need to do and we must do. So I just leave that for you all there. But the utility does make money enough to support the annual payments on this $5 million. So with you all's approval tonight, this will be the first legal step in the process. We'll go through the bond rating for ZAC and the bond to get that established, and we'll be back before you at March 9th City Council meeting with interest rates at hand. And at that meeting, you would vote yes or no to actually sell and obligate the city to the issuance of ECOs. Funds will be delivered to you all on April 8th if all goes according to plan.
Got it.
Happy to answer any questions that you all have.
Did we not have money prior that we took certificates of?
Well, that's the stuff that we're gonna expend.
Yeah. So Michael, this is for well number 5. This is for the new well. This was never included in anything. It's the number one priority out of the council this past
Okay,
year.
so this is not for existing, this is for the
No.
new well.
Everything that we have COs,
Yeah, well 5, and then I wanted to add, because we've had a lot of conversation about streets, and
Yeah.
we really don't have the money set aside in the budget for streets, so I wanted to add $5 million for that. That's what we got.
And that's where I have a problem. Why are we borrowing money to fix our street? What is it, what street needs to be fixed that we are required to borrow money for?
we got quite a
I
few.
know we have a lot of streets out there that need repair, but what is so important that we have to borrow money to pay for it?
So I can tell you, and Mayor, jump in as well,
Yeah.
but I've gotten a lot of requests from various streets throughout town. I would say that $1 million in today's money is not going to get you.
It's not gonna get us much.
It's going to be overlays, it's going to be, repairs here and there that can be made that don't have the general fund money sitting there right now.
To me, the only severe street that needs to be addressed is right there at Somerset and Bend City Road, right there is that curve. Because it's constantly getting washed out. You can't drive across it without damaging your vehicle. It really needs to be paved instead of asphalt, but that's for a different subject.
And
I don't like the fact that we're borrowing money to fix streets. That should be part of our budget.
so that has, the amount that was allocated throughout our budget over years has never been there. Has never. And unfortunately, even the one that you're talking about, the intersection that you're talking about, where we thought that maybe it was just going to be
Future projects, we're gonna take care of that.
yeah, and it
as
was
well.
going to be able to have a few things just to be able to fix what we have as an overlay. I think we were in the 200s. Yeah. And so it's gone out drastically in a sense of the cost that goes not only with water, with anything. Now, this is for us to go ahead and start going down the process. The council will still have stuff that comes in for us to review and be able to approve. But there's a timetable that we need to start, and it needs to start on for us to be able to do that. With the majority of it is just dealing with well number 5, because we need to go ahead and get that as a way to be able to have a backup to the backup. And this is a time for us to be able to have that other well. Honestly, if some of you would have been, there was a meeting where we had a discussion on this, and I know the people heard plenty of feedback. I'm still in shock at how much they're proposing for the actual well. Just 3 years ago, we had a well less than $2 million. It's crazy. It is just unbelievable how much they're costing. So they're going through the process,
I
and
was shocked at the engineering fee.
well, it's just,
Much less the overall
just-
cost of the project.
that's just a portion. Trust me. I mean,
No, I
some of
know
the other
that.
equipment, I'm like, hey, we can just go ahead and do it. Try to figure out something. I know Public Works is good, but be able to do that. But we have to figure out ways, and there's still going to be some other ways to be able to get something that is dependable, reliable, and it's going to time. So all of us can walk away, and we walked into something where we had to do a Band-Aid fix and try to figure out, and we've gotten where we're at right now. But this is going to be something that in the long term,
Well, well 6 is out where we're growing. We're definitely going in that direction.
honestly, just be able to give us the flexibility and stuff.
Just to piggyback on somewhat of what Mayor said, and I was trying to give it quickly, but the last couple of years, we budgeted 50,000 for streets, right? Again, I know Somerset, some of the numbers, and this was without getting design and that kind of stuff, just go give it something on that street to make it, a little bit better. I mean, 200,000-300,000 is what 50,000 is budgeted, but we're not taking that 50,000 and putting it in an account somewhere, right? I mean, budgeting and accounting are 2 very different things, and so we're not able to cover some of those street repairs and larger street repairs. Now, that's a whole other conversation we can have this coming budget. We're gonna, put some more money towards that.
But with regards to this money, council will have a say-so as far as what gets repaired. on that
Oh, yes.
$1 million?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
This is just going through the timetable.
This
so
is
we
setting
can
it out,
meet-
getting it
we can
to the
meet
public.
Dates that are required, yes, to stay in the timetable.
Expending the funds then required
Okay.
policy.
Are we locked into the pricing on the well? or- I mean,
So that.
We haven't gone out for
We'll have
bids on
that
that.
conversation when we get to that one, but I will say, and Andrew can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but we're kind of going out with the 6 million. This number can come down when it ultimately comes to that
Okay,
workshop.
yeah, that's my question. We haven't gone out for bids yet. And
No.
this just may be way on the high side.
Correct.
We might come in $1 million less.
You would just need to make that decision about a week and a half before that. So by the end of February, you all need to kind of
We're gonna
lock
be
in.
getting out
what that-
to the job before.
No,
But
but we are
we'll get to that,
talking
when we get that item, we'll have it.
Okay,
Yeah, but we're actually talking to.
because the jump from a couple years ago to now.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I saw the numbers.
It is.
It is unbelievable, but we have to proceed with getting the timeline. We'll have an opportunity for us to go ahead and take the next step at the appropriate time.
We need to get the ball rolling. I'd make a motion on this, Mayor, that we approve Resolution 2602 as presented, so we can get the ball rolling.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I was sorting.
Any further discussion? The only thing I will mention is just because engineering fees. Austin, is it $20,000 or $50,000 above you have to get everything engineered? 20. Yeah, so just imagine anything where before we used to do some stuff and it was below that threshold, now everything falls above that threshold. So there's always going to be some additional costs with the engineering that before we didn't need to worry about. So it's there now. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right, all yeas.
Thank you all very
We'll
much.
be in
Great to
touch.
see you all.
Please
Let us know if we need to welcome aboard. Look forward to working. Let us know if we need to meet. Let's just keep the timetable going and keep the data going too. Okay, appreciate it, sir. Thank you. All right, with that in mind, we're just going to take a quick break. It is 8:12 right now. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. Quick 5-minute break and come on back. Okay, let's take a quick break.